we won an Emmy.
And the Emmy goes to Johnny Harris, News Press.
55. Here I am in 1975.
You see that animation playing right there on the screen? Yep. I'm not gonna lie, it felt pretty great. And as cliche as this sounds, this really was a team effort. Videos like this are made by a bunch of talented, great people whom I've grown to love and appreciate deeply. And I'm talking about these people. Pay them a visit, if you will. But more importantly, this felt great because in the middle of AI discussion and slop and this obviously manufactured need for it, trying to convince us that it's inevitable, this raw, weird, deeply flawed human-made design and animation is what caught their eye and their attention. And I'm just talking about my part when I say deeply flawed, because the nomination was for several pieces of work within the channel, like this one, which I absolutely love from MJ, and I don't think this one is deeply flawed. Collage animation. Collage animation to me is a way of expression, and I think you can tell that a lot more from my personal work here on this channel. But yeah, I am definitely going to enjoy this for a while. This is to say that we really need your weird, handmade, human flawed art out there more than ever. And I can only wish that with this channel, I can build a space to do that in time. Speaking of which, I will talk about what happened to this channel since the last time I made a behind the scenes, which was like ages ago. But this time I'm going to do it at the end of the video instead of at the beginning. So if you want to skip ahead or wait around for that, it's going to be the last chapter of this video. So let's dive into it. But first, a quick word about our video sponsor today, which is me, KFX Animation. This was really cringy, wasn't it? Okay, so this is still a very small channel. But if you like this type of thing and animated shorts and how they are made, the best way to support this channel is to like, subscribe, maybe share a video with a friend, whichever you like the most. Like I said before, my goal is to share stories, share my love for animation, create a cool community of animators and non-animators alike, just like human-made stuff. So, you know, leave a comment. And thank you so much for being here. And for those who came here from the market exit, I am very glad to tell you that we are going to make another collaboration, and I am very excited. It's going to be super cool, and wait for it very soon. Now to the point.
This is Mars in the
Okay, so I procrastinated this video, pun intended. So much for several reasons. So first, this video took me forever, and it was not because it was difficult or anything. It was because I was not liking it at all. I rewrote that script like 20 times. At some point, I totally lost the sight of why I chose this story in the first place, but it was too late. Like I had already made all the assets, and I did like those. I already made the rig for the robot, so I felt obligated to finish it, but I kind of dragged this, if you know what I mean, for a long time. And actually, it was not until Becky did the sound effects and the music that I felt like it was not that bad. I didn't like it as much, but it was not that bad. It came to life, if you will. But then I thought, you know, I need to move on and I need to release it. And to my surprise, several friends and people in general told me it was their favorite so far. So I guess there's a lesson hidden here. And I think it's that you never know how your work will be received. And we are not objective at all. But again, enough talk. Let's go into the project. So this one is simple in its world design. I divided it in basically 3 shots. The landscape from Mars, right, which is this part from here. Let me make this bigger, a little bit bigger. The landscape, I'll go into the layers in a bit. Then the same landscape, but from the point of view of our Pathfinder robot. Yes. And then the shots from space, which is like we go back and forward from Earth and Mars quite a bit. So I divided this into these 3 shots. Now I don't know how if you're an animator, I would love to know this, because I don't know how you organize this yourselves. But it was kind of tough for me to organize this one, even though it's like pretty straightforward. And so what I decided to do was this, which is just have just one long shot for the landscapes, and one long shot for the point of view of the robot, and one long shot for the space shots. And then I you can see here I just put them together. I just put them together like so, cutting and pasting. But I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit messy. I don't know why I did this. I don't know if there's probably a better way to do that. I always wonder that myself when I see like a different point of view in any animation. And I think if it's a big studio, if it's the same animator, if they just cut the camera but stay in the scene, or if they do like the whole thing and then an editor chops it. I guess there's more than one way to do this, but this is the way that I did it for this. But I tried to match it with the VO as best as I could, and then at the end I had to create a little bit some patches to fill in blanks that I was missing. But the only one directly from After Effects that is a straightforward shot, it was the intro, which I have, you know, the Earth and Mars appears, and then we make this really cool traveling space in time, sorry.
But alas, here we...
Which actually I got this tutorial from Nick in Motion. I'm gonna link it in the description because the tutorial was awesome. It was for a very short animation that he did, and I liked it so much that I've used it quite a bunch. It's a bit heavy on the processing, but look at this, it looks really cool. We can go into it in a bit. And then I do this, just going in through the Mars atmosphere, and I added the title slate in here. And then this goes to the landscape shots here, right? And then I chop it all up until the end. Cool. Okay. So the landscape shots. Let's go to the landscape shots. As you probably noticed already, these are heavily inspired in Watchmen, especially the part where Dr. Manhattan goes into Mars because he's sick of our petty problems, etc., etc. You can see it here, right? So I love this comic book, and I even added a Dr. Manhattan foot. So here, I even added a step by Dr. Manhattan just to make it obvious that I was heavily inspired on Watchmen. But if we go to the, here it is. So this is a massive Photoshop file. Let's see. Yeah. Don't do this. This was, I mean, at the end, it kind of works because you have like pretty crisp assets, but I was gonna, you know, dirty the video anyway, so I don't know why I did it this, you know, this big. At the end, it was kind of like a problem, but never mind. So this is pretty simple. This was just with a brush and just just like by hand, because I wanted to look by hand. You can see it. It's not with a pen. You can see the shakiness of my hand. And just with a couple of brushes, like wet brushes that I did. And like I have different assets like the rocks. I really like the harsh shadows. I got that from the comic. And like I have these little mountains. I call them transition mountains. I'll tell you why in a moment. And this long landscapes, wide, and rocks and different colors and things like this, right? And I have like this little crater here. What is it? Like craters and rocks. And the reason why I did rocks and landscapes and transition mountains separately is because I wanted to have the liberty of putting them together in After Effects. I always do this. I never do the final assets in Photoshop. I just prepare pieces of it so that I can do whatever I want in After Effects in case something's not working and I don't have to come back and undo something that will move my whole project. But anyway, let's see. So here's what I mean. We have the landscape shots, right? So I actually decided to make this a wide 2:35 aspect ratio, which is a little bit out of my usual style. But since this was like a sci-fi space style type of story, I thought it was like a better way to go, this wider aspect ratio. But with that comes responsibility, which is to say that this camera movements. So here's how it looks, right? The problem with this is like if you see right here, if I move the camera, you can see it cuts right here. And it's supposed to keep going. But the way this is set up, since we have a lot of parallax effect, then you can see where it starts and where it ends. And that's why I made this little mountains. And they go, I put them in front of those unions, so that way you can like hide them better, if you will. That's why I made those. And every single one of these layers, it's not directly from Photoshop. I put them in a separate comp. So if we go inside, you can see that we have the transitional as it is in Photoshop. And then we have some rocks, another rock, another rock, another rock. And I did this for every single layer. And then we have this half tone texture that we have here, and I have it in soft light, right? And I have it with this button right here, with which what it does, it tells the composition that it's only visible in the layers that are down below, right? So again, soft light, and it gives it like a little bit of texture, right? It's not so plain. So I did this for every single landscape that you see here. And obviously we have our camera. And since I knew this was gonna be a time lapse at some point. There's like a montage of the robot doing stuff. I knew this was going to happen. So I did a controller. You can see here a controller that says day and night. And what I did here is I have different backgrounds here and textures. Background day, background night, stars, lens effects, and a different texture for night and a different texture for day. But I linked the opacity of all those layers to this null object, so that I just have like an opacity transition from day to night. like here.
Analysis of rocks and soil and extensive.
And it does this a couple of times, and I just wanted to do this so that it looked like the time was passing, right? And you can see the different Pathfinder robots doing their thing and searching for rocks. And okay, so then it's the same assets, the same thing, but from the point of view of Pathfinder. So what I did was this really simple, like visor. Is that the word for it? I don't know. But this visor, which is just like a frame, right? Like a frame. It's just a shape. Well, actually, no. It's a solid with a mask, right? With a matte layer, which is this one, right? With little corner, like round corners, for it to look a little better. And this is in dancing dissolve mode, which makes it like this little, you know, like grainy edges. So it wasn't at all that clean. And here, what I have is all the landscapes are parented to this node that's called turn-in head control, right? You can see this here. Because it's like when you move, it's not like to give you that kind of feel that you're from the inside looking out. And then we added this really cool HUDs that I like. This one, which is this is actually very simple. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, so this is the viewer, crystal viewer. I call it, right? Oh no, it's here. It's here. Okay, so this is just a shape with this option toggled on. This is the adjustment layer. So whatever you do with this layer, even if it's a shape layer or a PNG or a JPEG or whatever you do, but if you toggle this on, it's going to act like an adjustment layer. So what I just did is I just put a fast box blur and a little bit of a light sweep, and it turns into this really cool crystal HUD. And then you put some text on top of it, and I think it turned out pretty great. It looks a little more elegant. I was doing it like on a vintage style window type of thing, but I didn't really like it. This is what I mean when I procrastinated this video so much, because I didn't like anything that I was doing, but at the end I like this thing, so it's cool ish, but still I think it could be better, but you tell me. Then all of this it has a lot of effects, right? It has a noise, it has a quick aberration, just a little bit. It has optics compensation, 40, okay? And let's see here. This is the an adjustment layer that I'm just using below the visor and below a couple of things. It's just Venetian blinds to give it more of like a screen effect. You can see it here. If I remove it, right? And I have a little bit of a wave warp. The mode in square, just 2 points high, just to have a glitchy type of thing and not so clean edges and such. I have here the controls for Dr. Manhattan's foot. So this was just a layer that okay, so let's go in. This is just Dr. Manhattan's foot. It's just that, like the calf and the foot. And with some puppet layers, you know, puppet pins turned into actual pins with Duik. I was able to rig this a little bit just to make the step, and then he leaves like his footprint, and then he's away. I thought it was a nice thing. Oh, here, and you can see the point of view. I don't know if you noticed this, but this was really hard to do for some reason. And so check this out. This little thing, this little rock, this crystals, mineral outline. Okay, so it's just this, right? And it's fully, okay, let me turn this away. Okay, it's kind of like fully 3D. It was so hard to put together because it has like so many different parts. Let me show you, right? So different sides of it, all of them in 3D, and they had to match the outlines and they had to match each other. And then I just duplicated the layer and I put it one behind the other, and then duplicate that composition, and then you have just the outline, which is this one, just the same thing but just the outline, and this is the same thing but just the fill, and then you put them together, and then you put a control to it so that you can manipulate the whole thing together. Okay, so this was very not that straightforward, but I did it following this guy's tutorial. That's why I gave him a shout out here. I found this tutorial on Instagram one time, and I wanted to use it in something, and I think this was a pretty cool place to do it. Yes, so I just put the hand of the robot. You know, Pathfinder's design is pretty simple. So you just have a shape layer for like the little hand, and then we're good to go. So this is it. So this is basically landscapes and the point of view of Pathfinder. Last but not least is the outer space part, and very straightforward. This was the fastest thing to work on, right? And the way I did this is, let's see, you have Earth. In Earth, I did it using a Video Copilot's plugin called Orb, right? So I'll probably leave it in the description. This is an old plugin, but it's a very powerful plugin because it lets you do exactly this. Like it lets you do globes using bump maps, and if you look closer, you know, I can have like little bumps on this, and the clouds and everything. You can do a lot of fun stuff with this, and you just need like a texture. So I got the texture from, you know, those NASA sites where you can download them for free, the Blue Marble ones. I can also leave the link in the description, but I painted all over it in Photoshop to look like more of an illustration, because it was like an actual map texture. And again, this is 6,000 pixels by 2,000. I mean, it's big. It's a big comp. So this was Earth. And Mars, the same thing, using Orb from Video Copilot. And I also did the texture in Photoshop. I actually didn't download anything from real Mars. I did this myself using the same reference, like Watchmen, and I did the landscape layers before, so I based everything on that so that it had the same style. So yeah, this is the actual landscape. This is just me fooling around with Photoshop brushes. I mean, you can even see here, this was not my first idea, so I just had to do the same again and again, and it was cool. I think this actually turned out pretty great. So here you have it. This is Mars, and same thing, it turns around. You can see I have even some craters. This is by no means an actual depiction of Mars. And I want to make this really clear because I actually had a comment on my video, on the short one, that said that Pathfinder was not supposed to have 8 wheels. And I was like, he's not supposed to have a face either, or Mars is not supposed to look like this. This is not a documentary. This is a short film. It might be based on actual events, but I'm not making a documentary. And I think it's really funny when people like go into this kind of stories and they complain about the factual errors in it. It's like saying like, but no one would believe that Clark Kent, it's not Superman just by using glasses. And then you're watching a movie about Superman, an alien from another, planet that has superpowers. Like, people not being able to recognize him if he uses glasses is absolutely irrelevant. You know what I mean? So this is not Mars. This is just me painting a layer in Photoshop and then making it a sphere. That's it. Back to this. Okay, so if you can see here in my project, in my Pathfinder folder, I have 6 faces and I have different bodies, and I have Robot 3, Analyzer of Rocks, Robot 4, Goodbye Human, Robot 5, Robot 6, Robot Trailer. Okay, so I have different characters because I thought that it would be easier if I made loops of the character instead of animating each time that I had to put it in the timeline. That way I could use them again and again and again in different parts of the video. So like, for example, if you go into the Analyzer of Rocks, if we go inside, this is just over 30 seconds loop where this guy is just observing rocks and standing put. And it just repeats and repeats and repeats, because this was pretty simple in the story, right? Like, he's not supposed to do like very specific things, so I just looped a couple of things. I'm not gonna go too deep into this rig right now because I have a new Gumroad page for the channel and for me and my website. I'm gonna leave the link in the description, and I'm gonna give you away this rig, and the rig has instructions inside of it, so you can go to the site and you can download it and you can play with it. And because I didn't get to use it a lot, and I think it has a lot of potential. If you want to use it, if you want to play with it, please be my guest. It's for free. You can go into the channel and you can go into the website, I'm sorry, and download it. It's just collect files. And yeah, if you do download it, please tag me. It would be so much fun to see how you use it and how you play with it. It's not that straightforward of a rig. It's not my best rig, but in any case, it's yours if you want it. But yeah, let me show you. It does have 8 wheels. I'm not gonna let that go anytime soon. It does have 8 wheels. Oh, and I also added a 4K wallpaper, which I'm already using myself in my computer. And I think it looks really cool. I'm gonna start doing more of this. I'm already working in a transition pack for collage animations, reusing some of the things that I've done in the past. And I'm also working on loops of characters for background scenes. It will take a while, honestly. It takes a lot of time, and I can only devote so much time to my channel for now, but I promise I'm gonna try have them as soon as I can. And then, the usual, I just bring everything to Premiere. I put the voiceover track, the SFX track that Becky made for me, and the music that she put together for me, and just cut and paste, and you have your shot, right? You have your short after months and months of procrastinating it.
Little red dot in the sky has intrigued us for centuries.
And there was a time.
But again,
exploring its
I can only devote so much time to this channel for now. Hopefully that will change at some point in the future. But speaking of which, to the channel. Last time that I talked to you guys, I talked about how I was gonna pay for advertising every month, and I haven't done that, not in the least. So the first time that I made this video, I had 1.81k YouTube subscribers. That was in March 1st, right? And we're now in June. It's quite a while ago. I did invest at that point like 110 euros. I did a BTS trailer. I did a YouTube episode trailer. I didn't invest a lot on those. In total, I invested like 200 euros. And I did get, at the end, 4.5k, which was over 3,910 more subscribers that month. But that month was the collaboration with the Market Exit that actually, I mean, I don't think Andres knows this, but I do think that the public that he's going for are pretty great and they listen. And so that brought me quite a number of subscribers. I realized that this is not much in terms of like YouTube life, but nevertheless, I deeply appreciate it. But as of today, I did one more. I did one more investment, and then I did some behind the scenes stuff in Instagram, and now I have 5.26k subscribers. It's so hard having a YouTube channel, I have to tell you. It goes slow, one by one, but I appreciate every single one of those. And I don't know if I'll ever get monetized for this channel, or if I'll get even more subscribers due to I cannot work on this full time. But nevertheless, I enjoy doing this so much, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And I have a lot of plans for the future in short films, and with the Chronicles of Peculiar Whimsy, I have more episodes in store. Hopefully I will get to work on those soon. And I'm sorry, this was very long, I keep repeating myself, and I think I do this a lot. I want to practice more, and I want to do it better, but it's very uncomfortable talking to a camera. I hope you like this. If you have any questions, as usual, please hit me up, and remember to like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you very soon. I'll see you soon with Andres from the Market Exit. And let's keep animating, guys, and let's keep fighting the AI slop machine so that it doesn't, win, so to speak. Maybe we should do a video about AI, but let's not give it more attention that it already is stealing from us. Keep animating, sloppy, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for being here.